Get ready for fall right here in Las Vegas with the VegasNearMe app. They're rolling out new updates all the time. You have to go in and check out the new descriptive map feature too. It shows you exactly where you are and all the great stuff that's around you.
Yeah, that's a must-have for locals and visitors. Hey, they've also recently partnered with Vegas.com to get you the best prices on show tickets. Also, who doesn't love a deal, right? Well, inside the app, you'll find half-off comedy show tickets, attraction discounts, and even an unbeatable bottle service deal.
VegasNearMe is absolutely free. You don't even have to put in an email to sign up. You just download it to your phone from the Apple App Store or Google Play. And the best part, if you're making a family trip to Las Vegas, there's settings that you can flip on to make sure that you're only seeing kid-friendly activities. Get the VegasNearMe app now.
When storms wreak havoc on your property, don't face the aftermath alone. Level Up Law is your ally in natural disaster recovery. Whether it's property damage, wind resulting in downed trees, wildfires, or water damage, our experienced team will help you. Call 855-LEVEL-UP for a free consultation. Call Level Up Law now, 855-LEVEL-UP, and take the first step toward rebuilding your life. Level Up Law, justice at your fingertips. Call today.
It's episode 243 of Vegas Revealed. Las Vegas is home to the only MSG sphere in the world, right? Well, not for long. Wait till you hear which city is getting sphere number 2.
As Halloween gets closer, spooky stories of Las Vegas's past emerge.
And there was people buried in the basement. That's what they said.
The haunted history of the oldest hotel casino in Las Vegas.
Plus, the paranormal passport that rewards you for visiting Nevada ghost towns.
The largest real ice rink is opening on the Strip for the holiday season. A food and drink deal we found that only cost $2, and an underground distillery with ties to the mob.
All that and more this week on Vegas Revealed.
Vegas Revealed, presented by Level Up Law, starts now.
Welcome to Vegas Revealed, episode 243. Dana Roselli and Sean McAllister here, and we start off the show with some news from Sphere. We aren't going to be the only ones anymore.
I know. Since Sphere opened a year ago, we've loved the fact that Las Vegas has been home to the only Sphere in the world.
Right.
But unfortunately, it's good for MSG Entertainment because they're the ones who build these things. But unfortunately for Las Vegas, there is going to be a second Sphere. It was just announced, but it is on the other side of the world.
Yeah, it'll be fine. And it's going to take a while to put together.
It will. It will. We don't even have an opening date in the announcement that was sent out. So Sphere 2 is what we're calling it, Sphere 2. The original will always be in Las Vegas, but the second one is apparently they're looking to build it in Abu Dhabi.
Okay, interesting. Never been.
Yeah, I've never been either.
So good for, that side of the world, right?
Absolutely.
And I think it's good that it's another side of the world because then you'll have, people on that side have a Sphere closer to them to go to, and then on this side of the world. So, there's plenty to go around.
That's right. And in the announcement that Sphere sent over to us, the partners, they're partnering with essentially the LVCVA of Abu Dhabi.
Right.
And they say that they're excited to put Sphere in a prime location and to add to the already exciting environment that they have over there with this cutting edge venue where, they'll do sporting events and concerts and theatrical releases as well, like we've seen here. So I have no doubt it'll be quite the draw.
Yeah, definitely. And they're going to love it over there. I think it's a good fit. There was rumors that it was supposed to go to London next, but remember, they had issue with light pollution and they didn't want it. And it's like, all right, well, moving on, right? Good for them.
Well, when we spoke with, the guy who thought of the Sphere, James Dolan, who's the head of MSG Entertainment. And when we spoke with him at the grand opening of Sphere in Las Vegas, he said he was already looking at locations for a number 2. He threw New York out there, as you mentioned, London. Obviously, neither of those cities had terms that were really appealing to draw Sphere to them.
Right. Yeah, and he complimented Las Vegas and how easy we are to work with.
Yeah.
So you could tell there was a little bit of something there. But hey, that's the thing. You move on. There are plenty of places across the globe, and the Sphere is so cool. It's such a huge draw. It's been so wonderful for our tourism and visitor numbers. So good for them.
Well, and the global attention that has been put on Sphere really has been remarkable. I mean, you see people tuning in to live streams anytime there's a new image put on the outside. Just recently, there was a Big Mac put up on the outside, a big McDonald's advertisement. Those video clips go almost instantly viral online.
Yeah. And I think that, we do a good job of when there's things here, we help promote or help push or have some fun with, like just say the opposite team. Like when Syracuse was playing UNLV, they put the Syracuse orange on the, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And then, I had friends texting me like, hey, saw the orange, which his name's like Otto or something, on the Sphere, and like, so it's so great in making people want to see this thing in person and experience it in person. And it welcomes everyone. That's the thing. Whether you're here, you're not, you're visiting us, you're an opposing team, whatever it may be.
And obviously, being in Las Vegas and in the United States, culturally, it's going to be different what they program with over in Abu Dhabi as well. So that'll be exciting to see, how that all evolves as well.
Right. Yeah, so I guess we'll learn more, as it develops and as construction gets underway.
But there has already been, turning back here to Las Vegas, there's already been construction underway over at the Rio Hotel Casino, and they've just finished the first phase of their big remodel that's been going on over there for quite some time.
Yeah, we told you about this. We've been covering it because there's been so much interest. But yeah, phase 1 is done now. So we talked, in the past about how they opened up the canteen food hall. They made some adjustments on the casino floor. Their convention space has been, looks like a beautiful major upgrade. So that's kind of cool. Like 220,000 square feet of meeting and convention space they remodeled. And according to the pictures that they sent us, it looks really good. They have the revamped pool district with 4 distinct pools, a new exterior art installation, which we've bragged about because we love it. Whenever you drive by, you can't help be like, that looks really cool.
And what we're talking about is the lights on the outside of the building. Mm-hmm. They replaced all of them. It was the old neon tubes, and it looks like they did something with LED on the outside because the colors are always changing. They're dancing. They
drip down the walls.
I mean, it really is just purely from the outside. The aesthetic has really changed and made it feel like a new modern resort.
Yeah, it's true. They opened the Lapa Lounge, which we visited and was nice. The Luckily Tavern is now open over there. They opened up a Starbucks. So a lot going on. Phase 1 is done. We did sit down with the owner of Dreamscape on a previous episode of Vegas Revealed. And you may remember he said, this is all part of, this is phase 1. There's going to be a phase 2. This is all part of a larger vision. So if you want to hear that interview with Eric Birnbaum, you can go to our YouTube channel or listen to a previous audio podcast of Vegas Revealed where we put the interview just to kind of see what the entire vision is there. I know there's a lot of interest. Even just the video interview has more than 27,000 views. So people have been watching that. Something that caught your eye that came in just recently, though, in addition to phase 1, the Palazzo Villas have now been remodeled. And I know you kind of know more about that than I do. What are those?
Yeah, so this is on the grounds over there at Rio, but it's kind of a separate structure. There is this giant villa that's constructed kind of off the pool area. There's an entrance over toward the convention. As you're walking to the convention area, there's doors to go over to these Palazzo Villas. But these range from 1-bedroom to 6-bedroom villas that they have housed in this complex, and it's super luxury. I know back when Elton John, Olivia Newton-John, Britney Spears, when they had residencies here, they each stayed over at these Palazzo Villas at different times. And so that gives you an idea of it's full butler service, all
Okay.
that kind of thing. So they have been remodeled now and are now reopened again from 1 to 6 bedrooms. The 6-bedroom villa is nearly 14,000 square feet.
Wow.
That's
It's huge.
a big space to stay.
Yeah. So
So
you
if-
could bring everyone.
So if you're living in a mansion in Malibu right now, you will have no problem transitioning to this 6-bedroom villa for the weekend.
Okay, definitely not. So we'll have to dig deeper and find out some of the prices on that. You might have to call for that one. I don't think it's something you can book online.
No, I think it actually said in the announcement that we got that you have to call.
Yeah. But we do need a lot of that. We have a lot of, celebrities, high rollers, people that want to come in from across the country and want to kind of be planted somewhere for a while. Business stuff. People want to bring their whole family, and maybe it's a really big family. So makes sense.
I mean, there's no better reason to have a family reunion in Las Vegas, right?
Right. Yeah.
Just book the villa.
right. Just invite Sean and I.
Yes, let us know so we can get it on the calendar.
Well, listen, we are approaching Halloween, and I know there are people who just absolutely love Halloween. They love the haunted houses, they love the creepiness, or some just love the cheeriness of dressing up in a fun costume or a creepy costume, all that kind of thing. There's tons of events around Las Vegas, but we wanted to get to some kind of old ghost stories for a minute. Now, did you know the El Cortez in downtown Las Vegas is actually the city's oldest hotel and casino? So you can imagine that over the years, there's actually been a lot of stories about the famed property, including some haunted ones, which I didn't know until we sat down with Kenny Epstein, the CEO and chairman, a while back.
Yeah, and he told us that there have always been stories kind of floating around that there were bodies buried in the basement of the El Cortez. I mean, Bugsy Siegel founded it, and, it was an interesting time here in Las Vegas back then. Yeah, bodies in the basement. Well, guess what? There is a little bit of truth to it, but with a twist.
Yeah.
Listen to what Kenny told us.
That we've had several calls about ghosts at the El Cortez. Is that right? Yeah, ghosts of the El Cortez. And then we have the history of the underworld that used to own this place, and there was people buried in the basement. That's what they said, and the ghosts, in the place. Well, they were true. There are people buried in the basement. Jackie Gone, who was a special guy, when a porter died and he didn't have any family, he had him cremated, and they gave him the urn because he didn't have any family. He put the urns in the basement. Well, he had about 5 or 6 of them down there, and then the rumor got out that there's people buried in the basement. Well, it was really employees that had no family that he buried them in the basement with their urns. So that's the story of the ghosts.
Are you an avid country music listener? Join me, Miss Helen, and producer Kyle on the Texas Toast podcast, where we talk with some of country music's biggest stars, like Parker McCullum, Josh Abbott, and Pat Green, as well as my favorite part, new upcoming performers and songwriters like Dylan Gossett and Braxton Keith. We learn all about their journeys into music and what makes them tick, along with never-before-heard stories about the making of their songs. Join us every Tuesday and Friday wherever you get your podcasts, and you might just learn about your new favorite artists.
Isn't that interesting? I love the old stories, and I do love that there's a little bit of truth to it.
There is. And you know what? I feel like it also just shows what a good guy Jackie Gone was to take care of his employees even after they depart the physical world.
Right. So, yeah. And, El Cortez is still going strong over there. They've done a bunch of renovations and they continue with that. So, Kenny's really proud of that property, but he's also always proud to share just the stories, the old, old Vegas stories, what makes it unique, some of the old school stuff, some of the stuff they're doing now. And he's like a big cheerleader for that property. And I love it. You can just tell when you walk in the room, he loves his job.
Oh, he absolutely does.
Yeah.
And he's all in over there at El Cortez. And even with the renovations that they're doing over there right now, he's dead set on keeping that history alive. He doesn't want to erase it, just add to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's stick with the haunted theme and talk about all the ghost towns we have across Nevada, because there is actually a paranormal passport. And that means as you check into these ghost towns and you drive around and you visit and you stop, you can actually, say you've been there and get some merch.
Yeah, you have to visit a lot of ghost towns to get the merch. But that's the idea behind Travel Nevada has put together this paranormal passport. You download it from their website and it's not an app. It's something that you actually download to your phone.
Okay.
And you go through and check off the ghost towns as you're visiting them. And you accumulate points along the way, which you can, cash in for sweatshirts, tote bags, mugs, like
Fun.
Some cute things with some haunted Nevada motif on them. But what a great idea to get people out into the desert to explore these places that have been left vacant since the mining boom back in the day.
I know. When you and I were driving up north, we drove through a couple, but I didn't realize there's over 600 ghost towns in Nevada. You and I went through Tonopah. We saw the Mitspa Hotel. We saw the Clown Motel, which is known as America's scariest motel. And, whenever we posted about these things, there's been such a response. So I know people are really into this. So this is definitely something that I think a lot of people would like to do.
Oh, without a doubt. And these ghost towns really are interesting because you see these big old buildings that have just been left behind, or you see the foundations of these old buildings and the remnants of these towns that once had thousands and thousands and thousands of people living in them. And it's like people have just picked up one day and left.
A lot of people really enjoy this. I don't know. It makes me nervous.
You know what I just heard this morning on one of the morning news shows is that behind Christmas, Halloween is like the holiday that people spend the most money. Mm-hmm. Which when you add up the candy, the costumes, the whatever else you're going to do.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a big Halloween fan.
No?
No, never have been. In fact, I was married at one point in my life, and the ex loved Halloween, and I don't know, that might be part of the reason we didn't work out. I just wasn't into it.
See, I really enjoy Halloween,
Do you?
But I like to do the really gory makeup with prosthetics and all that stuff, but for the past several years, I've just really not had the time to spend in planning that kind of thing because there's a lot of, you have to figure it out and get all the pieces together for a costume like that. And so I haven't really been into it because I haven't had the time to invest.
I know. I mean, I've been invited to a bunch of Halloween parties, and it's hard for me to really, because I'm like, I have to come up. Like, I usually come up with something simple, but I don't know. I can't even think of what. Well, we did the costume contest once where we judged over at Circa. That was fun. See, I'm all about that. I'll show up and judge.
Show up and judge.
Sounds great. But I was thinking I would make a good Kamala Harris this year, wouldn't I?
Oh, you would.
Just put the suit on, the standard necklace.
And you like to laugh.
And I like to laugh, right? I could get some lines down. I could shake hands at the party. But I was like, because I always go with like, who do I kind of resemble that I could pull off? It's like I could never do Britney Spears. I could never do Paris Hilton.
Right.
But, you have to kind of go with what you have. Like,
yes.
Okay, then because it makes it easier to put together. I'm
That
all
is
about
true.
easy.
That is very
But
true.
that's the thing. It's not supposed to be easy. You're supposed to put a lot of thought and put all that,
Well,
so anyway.
We will see what happens.
Yeah. By the way, back to paranormal. You know what? Maybe we should just throw that interview in so people can understand more about the paranormal passport. Because you know what? We have it. We're putting it in the TV show. Let's run that. We actually had a great interview with Travel Nevada.
Nevada is perfect for spooky season. So there's a couple places in Nevada that are really popular. So popular, in fact, that they've been on a lot of those ghost hunter television shows before. Virginia City is always known as a paranormal hotspot. There's the Washoe Club. They do ghost tours. You have the Gold Hill Hotel, which is known for having a haunted room there's always some lore behind people who have passed away in the hotel, and as a guest there, you can feel their presence. Tonopah is another awesome destination for those that are looking for that spooky themed. The Mizpah, has always been known as one of the most haunted hotels in the USA. And again, stories of Nevada's most famous ghost is the Lady in Red. And so she not haunts, but she lives kind of in one of the rooms on the 5th floor, and they even have a Lady in Red room. And so it's kind of spend the night in that room if you dare. So the Paranormal Passport, it's available for download on Travel Nevada's website. It's free to use, and it's not an app. You just download it, you get a text message to your phone, you click on it, and it's more of a mobile site. So yeah, as you check in to these places that we've identified, each place is worth a certain amount of points, so then you can use those points to redeem for swag. So some of our swag includes a really fun sweatshirt with a spooky illustration on it. We've got glasses, mugs, tote bags. I mean, I think that's what's really unique about Nevada is that we have more ghost towns than we do living towns. You know, we kind of have this Halloween vibe year round.
So if you're looking for a very spooky fall road trip, the Paranormal Passport is a great way to guide you around Nevada and get you to these ghost towns. You can download it at travelnevada.com. And by the way, the Paranormal Passport is available all year round, not just for Halloween.
Oh, yeah. So you can do it anytime. You need plenty of time to hit 600 ghost towns. But you can do it throughout the year, you know?
That's right.
Fun. People are always looking for road trips. So, hey, listen, we wanted to quickly mention the Arte Museum. We talk about it often. It's one of our favorite museums on the Las Vegas Strip, but they are doing a Night of the Living Arte. I love this, a brand new Halloween-themed exhibit. We did see some visuals, and man, it looks cool. So this might be something to do if you're interested in going to a fall or Halloween themed type of attraction. Friday, October 25th and Saturday, October 26th from 5 to 8, ticket holders are going to receive a complimentary gift and some surprises along with their admission. You're encouraged to wear a costume that doesn't have a mask for an additional free giveaway. Then they have the Halloween Pumpkins and Zombies exhibit in there too, and that's going to be available for ticket holders again starting October 25th through Halloween night. But they do a lot of different like kind of enchantment stuff, fall season stuff. The pumpkins, really captivating blend of kind of art and technology over there. So I don't know if you're interested in that. I think it'd be a good choice.
And I know that especially in recent years, parents have been much more reluctant to do the house-to-house trick-or-treating, especially if you're going to houses where you don't know the people who live there. You know, the trunk-or-treat stuff has become more popular. And this is also a great activity to take the family to.
Right.
The kids, I mean, we've been in there, and kids are just completely in awe of their surroundings because it really is kind of a magical thing.
It is.
Especially through the eyes of a child.
True. It's so true. And it's a classy spot too.
It is.
You know, it's very nice. So love that. I think that's a great idea. Hey, not Halloween related, but you know, as we approach Thanksgiving, the Fontainebleau has announced they're opening a real ice rink. And it looks like it's going to be in the pool area as well. They usually do it outside, and most of the hotel casinos, if they do it at all, it's always kind of in the pool area because there's a nice wide open space there. But this is actually going to open the night before Thanksgiving, or the day before Thanksgiving, that Wednesday.
Yeah, and this is part of a property-wide winter wonderland takeover that's happening over there at Fontainebleau. And what a great spot. First of all, the pool deck up there at Fontainebleau is huge, and it's beautiful. It would make for I'm excited to see what it looks like all dressed up for the holidays.
Well, because like you said, it sounds like they really plan to turn this into this lovely winter wonderland, including a holiday village on ice, holiday cabanas. There'll be photo moments. There's going to be fire pit rentals, the bites and cocktails. They're going to do holiday movie showings too, a few nights a week. Those are at 8 p.m. and you can see holiday movies with the I mean, this is so cool.
And, if you want to take full advantage of everything they're doing, they do have special Winter Wonderland packages available. You can go to Fontainebleau's website to get all the details on that. But it really is fun to see how... Fontainebleau is a new property on the Strip, so it's fun to see what they're going to contribute to the holiday scene on the Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah, because it opened in December, so they haven't had like a November
right
yet, And by the way, so it is they're using real ice, by the way, and also having 2 rinks, which I think is cool. So there's going to be one for public, and then another one will be used like for bookings for like private holiday parties or events. And so that way you're not combining both, So there'll be plenty of room to skate if you're going.
Oh, we should do a Vegas revealed skate night.
Yeah, we should do that. Except I'm not good on ice skates.
No?
No, terrible. We talked about this last time. I'm better at roller skating. I used to ice skate on ponds when I was young, and that was easy.
Right.
But then once I went into the professional rinks, I fell over, and
it's all coming back to me now.
It's all over. Yeah, it's weird. I grew up in a very cold area, but I don't ski and I don't ice skate. But I've also, knock on wood, never broken a bone. So then I want to keep it that way.
Then it's a good thing for you that there's a roller skating option coming to town this winter too.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Over at Venetian.
Yeah. But I will go to the ice skating rink and watch everyone else and take part in all the fire pit and cocktails.
There we go. That's the way the après skate.
Yes. Listen, I love a good popcorn and movie, so that sounds fun.
Hey, the When We Were Young festival is coming up this weekend here in Las Vegas, and there was just kind of a shakeup with the lineup. All American Rejects were one of the headliners of the festival, and just within the past week, the band put out a statement saying that they're no longer a part of the festival.
I know, and I was looking at the response, and a lot of people were really bummed. They were one of the highlights. I mean, they do have such a long list of bands that are going to be performing,
and they're
great
entertainment still. Yes,
great entertainment, and people will have a blast. But yeah, they did say that they have spent months tirelessly planning and preparing for this once-in-a-lifetime show, and they were excited about it. But anyway, they said there's been a management change within the operation, and they're no longer able to accommodate what they had previously agreed upon. So they needed to pull out. And so the All-American Rejects will not be part of the festival, but like you said, huge lineup, and it looks like they just released the lineup for the weekend, too. So they're prepared. I live across the street, so I've been watching the setup go up. Looks very nice. And hopefully this festival will go off without a hitch. And 1, 2, 3, 4, it looks like they got like 5 stages going. So that'll be good.
And that festival ground over there always has, it can accommodate huge crowds. Mm-hmm. And people have a good time over there at those festivals. And I believe that tickets for this one went really quick too.
Yeah. Looks like My Chemical Romance will be performing as one of the headliners one night.
Oh, good.
Fall Out Boy. Got a great lineup. Boys Like Girls, Jimmy Eat World. I know you like them.
Yep.
Pretty Girls Make Graves. Never heard of them, but then again, I'm sometimes out of the loop. So sounds like a good time.
So again, When We Were Young festival, moving on as planned this weekend, except without All American Rejects as part of that lineup.
All right, let's do some tips now. All right, Sean, I'm going to let you take this one away. This tip comes from a couple things you did over the weekend, and you were like, I've got to share this with everyone.
Yeah, so Shane, my husband and I, we got married in downtown Las Vegas. We just had our anniversary, so we had a nice dinner down there at Triple George Grill, and then went out for some cocktails afterward. But as we were roaming around in downtown Las Vegas, we stopped into the Downtown Grand, and there were people everywhere walking around with hot dogs and beer. Okay. And like double fisting.
Very Americana.
Very Americana. And I was like, what's going on? And then it dawned on me, my memory was jogged that like the hot dogs and beer is a thing over at Downtown Grand. So I went over to where they were serving them, and it's cheap. It's $2, $2 for a hot dog and a beer.
Wow.
So that's why people were double fisting.
I mean, you can't get like one taco for that. These
No,
days.
for $5 you can get 2 hot dogs and 2 beers.
Wow. And it's a Nathan's hot dog and
It's
a Pabst Blue Ribbon?
A Nathan's hot dog, a Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Even more classic.
This is something that happens regularly over at Downtown Grand. So if you find yourself in downtown Las Vegas and your tummy's starting to rumble, you only got a couple bucks in your pocket, this is the place to go. Just inside the door that's over there, right off of 3rd Street. So I don't know. I saw that and thought that was a great deal that we should share.
So is it a $2 hot dog and a beer is $2, or is it $2 for the hot dog, $2 for the beer?
No,
because even that would be reasonable.
$2 for $2, you get a hot dog and a beer.
Wow. Okay. So even if you're not hungry and you just want to get a beer, you could hand your hot dog to someone else on the street who's hungry.
Absolutely. And you will always find someone on the street who's hungry. And by the way, down there, there's that whole district on 3rd Street where the Downtown Grand is. And that's, I don't know, maybe 2 blocks off of Fremont Street. And that block between the Downtown Grand and Fremont, there's a brand new food hall that was built in there also. And it looks really nice.
Okay.
They really spruced up that area to make it a nice walkable zone with food options. So it was the first time I've been down there to see that, and it looks really nice. They did a good job with it.
Okay, cool. And then you went to the Mob Museum.
We did, and it wasn't for a tour of the museum like you would normally do, go buy a ticket, go through the whole museum and have that experience, which is great, by the way. We went to the Mob Museum underground, the basement of the Mob Museum.
Right. Now, we've talked about this before and actually done it as a tip, but never actually went to experience it. So you went to now experience it. So this is like updated tip.
Yes. So there's a speakeasy and distillery down in the basement of the Mob Museum. And to get there, if you're looking at the building straight on, there's a driveway over to the right-hand side. And it says deliveries down this way. You walk down that driveway, and there's a staircase that goes like down to the basement door. It's not marked. You just kind of have to know where to go.
Right.
And you get down there, and there's a door that has one of those little slider things like a speakeasy.
Cool.
And they don't let you in unless you have the password.
Right.
Which changes every week.
And you get it on social media, right?
On their website.
A website. Okay.
But you have to read very carefully. You have to read the speakeasy part of the website carefully in order to find it. It's not like just plastered up there.
Right.
So we did. We went over there, and it was really cool down there. They have all this 1920s Prohibition era memorabilia that's down there. Memorabilia or artifacts, whatever. That stuff is down there.
Okay.
And then they distill their own moonshine.
Okay.
Down here in a old classic copper still that's still functional.
Okay.
So it's really cool. I really enjoyed this. They had a private room down there that's behind, like this big picture on the wall opens up, and there's a private room behind it.
Oh, wow. That's neat.
It is. And then there's this hallway that has more artifacts down there. So I highly recommend it. We had a great time. Live music in there Fridays and Saturdays.
Okay.
They have a Halloween party coming up as well on Halloween night from 8 to midnight. I think it's great. Can't wait to go back.
Yeah, it sounds really cool and very Vegas, like old school Vegas.
Very Vegas. And the servers fill you in on some of the mob history and the Prohibition history that has inspired how they serve and what they serve. It's really cool. I don't want to give anything away because it's a neat thing to go down and experience.
Some good tips today. Good show. We're going to move on. We've got a couple things we're going to this week. We're going over to Giada for a Frey Ranch inspired dinner. Frey Ranch is a whiskey that they make up in northern Nevada. I never know the alcohol terms like you do. What do? They don't just make it. It's
I know
called
they
something.
distill that.
They
as
distill
well.
it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so bad. Sorry, Frey Ranch.
Yeah, which is great. If you've listened to the podcast for a while, you've heard us talk about Frey Ranch and our trip up to the ranch in northern Nevada where they grow every single ingredient that goes into their whiskeys and bourbons that they distill right there. It's a Nevada-grown product, and they've really taken off. I'm excited to talk with Ashley and Colby, who are the husband-wife pair who've taken over operations of the farm up there and really, I mean, taken it in a new direction and done incredibly well.
I sent a bottle to my brother for Christmas, and he's still talking about it. He really liked it, so I'm going to have to get another.
It's good quality stuff.
Yeah.
And I was excited because we were just over at Voltaire to see the Dita Von Teese show, which we'll get into in our next episode as well. And I got an old fashioned at the bar, and they said, "Which kind of bourbon do you want?" And he put 2 bottles up on the counter. I said, Frey Ranch, obviously. So yeah, we're gonna go. We'll have more on Frey Ranch in our dinner with them next week.
It's so crazy because when you said Dita, like, hello, I totally forgot to put it in the show today. But we do so much and we have so many topics, but we wanted to hit a little bit of the Halloween. You're right. So next week we'll talk about Dita. Loved that. That's over at Voltaire, like you mentioned.
And that's a whole conversation.
It is a whole conversation. I've had people actually DM and ask, like, how was it? What's it like? And I have a good little summary of how I would describe it. That's all coming up. There's your teaser for next week, okay?
So we'll have that and a ton more and our tangents next week on Vegas Revealed.